I had a few people come into the bar yesterday and were complaining about inflation cost. Well, not necessarily inflation cost, but my prices at my business, golf course, bar, restaurant, whatever, with the pricing going up, they were complaining about, basically the beer he was drinking was $2.50 for an old Milwaukee, and then others were, complaining or do complain about a $3.25 can of Busch Light. It's $2 for men's league when these people play. But anyway, going back to the story here at hand, where this is ultimately going as stocks. But, when people complain about high prices at a small business, they forget to think about the debt service, the payroll costs, not only paying your employees, but paying taxes on those employees, property taxes, sales tax, credit card fees, and the plethora of all other, income tax, personal income tax, there's 6, and all the other small, taxes that come along as the year goes on. Funny thing is, actually, my girlfriend and I were talking about it. I think we get taxed fucking $100,000 roughly between the two of us. She's a teacher and bartends for me in the summertime, of course, and then I work a few odd jobs, just to try to make ends meet, have my business, and then of course I pay sales tax and property tax here with my business. And I'm thinking it's between sales tax for me, my personal income tax, and all the other taxes that I have to pay. Between the two of us, we're easily paying $100,000 of taxes plus. Of course, a little bit of that is skewed because of my business, but still, point being, two people, hardworking people, are providing over $100,000 to the U.S. government. And, when you hear people talk about your prices being high, they're too arrogant and fucking stupid. So where I was going with that here before I got interrupted, people are arrogant and stupid. And when they think they can go to Walmart and, pay the prices of a big conglomerate, billions of dollars industry there, or basically it's an industry within itself, and get away with that, but then go to the little guy here and complain about it for somebody who's making like $30,000 a year or $35,000 a year from their business. It's tough, it's like everybody just likes to bitch about something basically and complain about something, and they like to find either a mid-level or high-level manager or an owner to bitch to about their stupid little petty problems. But that brings me to this conversation of stocks, dividend-paying stocks, distribution-paying funds like I am in. And that's kind of the best way right now to fight inflation. And, you'll have and fight these high prices. But you'll have people saying to invest in real estate and, stuff like that, other businesses. That's all fine and dandy, and I certainly would myself. I would highly recommend that. But first, you have to have the money to do it. If you don't have the money to invest in real estate, then you can't invest in real estate. So the next best thing is to not go out and buy one of these SRT vehicles like I did and invest your money in the stock market. That seems to be the most valid argument against inflation right now. And while inflation numbers are, supposedly steadying out, people really need to get their money basically working for them. And that's a cliche statement. It's kind of stupid, really. But, you really got to start looking at investing. And that's one of the best things I could have did to, A, save my money, and B, see that money grow for me. As you'll see later in the video, I'll go over some of my stocks again, what I'm in, and we'll take a look here and see how much I've seen in growth with those stocks the last, I don't know, couple months, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, 8 months, a year. Stocks have been, basically at their 52-week highs. Most stocks and funds, I should say. But it's all relative. It is all relative. But it is nice to see the market doing extremely well. And for those of you who say the economy is not doing well, or the Bidenomics is not doing well, I encourage you to have a little debate here in the comments. I don't understand where you're getting this from, where you're getting the numbers from. I truly don't understand that. Most businesses are seeing profits, record profits actually, and part of that has to do with price raising, but part of it has to do with just people spending more money in relative terms. I'm seeing growth in my business that is beating inflation, and I think that's for a lot of businesses in the service industry, golf course industry in general. So I encourage you to debate me, but investing in the market, if you don't have money to put into real estate, which I can totally understand why real estate is way too freaking high right now, to really see a good return on your investment. But real estate, is just out of the fucking roof. So the next best thing is to invest in the stock market.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Siri likes to talk this morning. How nice. We're going across the line. Man, I gotta tell you, I do this drive here every basically April through end of September, middle of August in the pitch black, and it fucking sucks. I'm not a fan. Oh my god. And it's in the dark, so I have to drive really slow to work, so it takes me like a half hour to get to work now, which sucks. Granted, there's no traffic, but and this is a late morning, mind you. It's already, look at that, it's already 4:40. I'm running about 5 to 10 minutes behind schedule right now. But going back to the topic at hand, oh, I'm tired. The market is the best way to go, and to be frankly honest with you, if you're afraid of getting into the market, the S&P 500, some of those funds are the best way to get into the market. Now, I'm a gambler. I like to, I don't like to go to the casino, but I like to, bet a little bit of money on some stocks that interest me quite a bit. I actually just took some money out of Thrivent. I had some money in there. I wasn't happy with the performance I was getting, and then I put it into my own brokerage in Fidelity, which I highly recommend Fidelity as a good trading platform. It's really easy to use, and I like it a lot. It's fast, it's simple, that the support and help is there right away when you need it. But anyway, I took some money out of there. I invested some money in in Micron. They have a plant being built in Troy, New York right now. They're subsidized by the government. They build semiconductor chips. That's going to take off here just like NVIDIA and AMD. There's some other sectors of business that I am not in right now, including banking. Those are dividend paying stocks. Oil right now is another good sector to get into. Now, with the electric cars coming out, everybody thinks oil is going away, but truth be told, it's not. I wouldn't see why oil wouldn't be a good sector to get into. But then again, if you're afraid to diversify your money, some great stocks to get in, or some great funds to get into, are S&P 500 managed funds, or your own. I'm in Fidelity iShares right now. You can just pick some of those funds out, and you're pretty much guaranteed, as long as you do your research, to see some sort of growth in those, like I have. So we'll take a look at this later on the computer, and take a look at some of the growth that I've seen here in the last year to 5 years. And with the resurgence of the stock market going up, it's been a really good fight here against inflation, especially with how the market is changing, with people spending more money somehow, racking up their credit card debts. And that's another thing I want to talk about, our debts. You want to make sure you pay off your debts, especially your credit card debts, car loans, car notes, everything like that. But it is important to do that. Getting to the bulk of the story here, we're just going to take a look at the stocks that I'm in, similar to the video that I made earlier here about how to invest basically at a young age, or a younger age. I did want to actually do this video strictly on my iPhone, but now after some formatting issues with iMovie, I have to do it while taking a video of my computer screen. So anyway, this is it. You could see here we've got the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. Those points up there. And then we have Apple and Google, Nike on there as well. I'm not invested in any of those, but I am invested in IVE, Amazon, Micron, IVV, IVW, Lucid, and Stellantis. So these are the brands that I'm invested in here. And to get to the point of the video here, it's essentially to make your money work for you. And these are the stocks that I'm in right now to make my money work for me. So if we take a look here at a great example, would be this IVV, the core S&P 500 ETF. Actually, let's go to IVE. This is one of my favorite S&P 500 value funds out there. And I'm actually a big fan of this stock. So you can see here, this is today's data, and we can scroll through and see other stuff. I am actually going to, there we go, see some more data from Yahoo Finance here. And if we look at the IVE here, you can see the 1 year of this is basically at its 52-week high. I like this fund a lot, and I'm going to focus on this fund here. This is a great example of making your money work for you. And it's been around since 2000 in May, and the yield is 1.86%. It's just a great overall fund to start out with. And to tell you the truth, when I started investing at this fund about 5 years ago, it was about 110. I bought in at the dips, of course, during COVID. It's right around $100. I think my average cost is right around $100 to $120 now, because I've been buying a lot more shares now as, you make more money. But you can see how much this fund has grown since its inception, and you can kind of see, when the recessions hit, and how it's been growing since then. And it's been a very steady growth here since its inception. But if we look back at the year to date, or even the 1 year here, you can see that this stock is growing at a great rate, 20 points in a year. That's very, very, very good. That's a great percentage, and it looks like this stock has a pretty solid growth rate year over year, and or this fund, I should say. And here's some other shares that are also looked at by people. This is definitely one of the better funds to get into. So if we take a look here at the historical data, and this is just date, we don't really need any of that. A chart, the performance. This is what we are really interested in. So the 1 year daily total return is 17.65%. The year-to-date daily return is 15.66%. The 3 year daily total return is 16.31%. So again, why not make your money work for you? You know, instead of going out and buying a $500 watch or a, you know, throw down some money on a car that you don't need, throw it into the stock market. Make your money grow for you. This is what's so frustrating with people nowadays. It's so important to manage your own money and make sure that, you know, you're keeping track of your money. You can see here the total, the annual total return of this fund has been, for the most part, besides in 08, that's before my time, before I was able to invest. I really didn't start investing until 2015-ish, 2016. I didn't start heavily till COVID, when I started making some more money. But you can see this has seen great growth here, and in 2023 it'll see great growth as well. But this is definitely the way to go, and I can't stress this enough here on how much you need to, you know, set money aside to invest. And it doesn't have to be an IVE. It can be in anything. Let's just take a look at Stellantis, for example. I'm a big Stellantis fan. We're going to take a look here at Yahoo Finance. But this is a dividend-paying stock. It's fantastic. Of course, Stellantis is Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Maserati, Alfa Romeo, a big automaker. Of course, it's publicly traded, so we can see here, we can really look in depth, and if you really want to do some research, you could just take a look here at the total revenue of Stellantis and blah, 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 blah. I don't go that in depth. I invest in products that I use, that I like, that I can tangibly touch. I do not invest in cryptocurrency. That is a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own thoughts, of course, but I only invest in products that I use in a day-to-day basis here. As I continue to make more money, I will put more products in, or put more money in Apple and in Google and stuff like that. But this is why I invest in index funds, because if you take a look at IVE, IVV, IVW, any of the S&P 500 index funds, the top 10 holdings of those funds are usually large companies in the United States of America. Tesla, Facebook, now Meta, Google, General Electric, Stellantis, GM, companies like that. So for me, that makes it easier to throw my money at something when maybe I'm unsure of just investing in Apple or just investing in Google. I can invest in it, but only at a 4% or 5% rate compared to investing all my money into it. So I have a little bit of a backboard in case shit were to hit the fan. But one dividend-paying stock I really liked was Stellantis, and Yahoo Finance does a great job here at explaining what is going on with Stellantis here. But we're going to take a look here at the historical data, and, we don't want that historical data, at the analysis here, and this really isn't showing me much. And see what the dividend is. I know this has a very high dividend. of course, there we go. There's your dividend rate. The last dividend date, it was extended. And you can see here that if we look at the year-to-date or even the 1 year, that Stellantis has seen quite a bunch of growth here. Even when it was early August last year, we've seen a 5-point increase. If we look at the 5 years, Stellantis has seen its ups and downs, of course, during COVID. But with all of its new products coming out, this is a great dividend-paying stock to get into. Oh, we've even got the cat helping out today. There she is. What do you think about Stellantis? You like it? Yep. All right. So again, you can see here some more stories. Blah, 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 blah. But let's go back. So let's take a look at IVE here. And I want to see if they show, if I can get some sort of holding on here. I'm not sure if Yahoo data will show it or not. Anyway, I want to say the top 10 holdings. Let's take a look here. If I can scroll down, it won't let me. Anyway, on your Fidelity app or whatever app you have, it'll show you your holdings. The holdings in IVE I like the most because they're a little bit more aggressive, but they give you a good value in the fund that you have, and you have some really nice blue blood stocks to fall back on in case, the market does go awry. So I like that a lot. I love the IVE fund just for that fact. And I honestly, I like IVW and IVV for that as well. So I would highly recommend that. Make that money work for you, especially when you're working really hard. If you're working for your money and you're wondering where it's going, well, set up a dedicated savings account, set up a dedicated brokerage account, and start putting some money in there so you can see some growth. That is what I would recommend.